Welcome to the Daily MBA, where business wisdom is served fresh and fast, straight from one of the top MBA programs in the world. I'll give you summaries of my lectures and readings, as well as the most important insights gained from an MBA, so you can apply all of this knowledge in every business. Let's get started.
Hi! In today's episode, I will keep teaching you about fintech trends, and today I'm going to talk about machine learning in fintech specifically. But you've probably been hearing about machine learning a lot because this is not only a fintech thing. Machine learning is transforming the industry because it enables companies to analyze vast amounts of data, automate processes, detect fraud, and improve the customer experience. And this ultimately allows all of the financial services firms to be more data-driven and take real-time decisions that will enhance their efficiency and will also reduce risk. But if you're thinking about what is machine learning, this is something that's going to be used in almost every industry today because this is a field of study of AI that allows the machines to learn and improve from the data. So these are basically algorithms that are analyzing the data and they make decisions without being explicitly programmed to do so. And how it works is that you'll start with a data analysis, so the machine learning will use algorithms to analyze this large amount of data that you're giving it. Then it will recognize some patterns in this data that it has, and then it will use the insights from the data to make decisions. And this model will start to improve over time as it is exposed to more and more data. And it's something that's being used in every single industry probably today. It's being used in retail to recommend items based on your past purchase history. It's used in games to train the models to play the different games. It's being used in cars to train all of the vehicles to drive by establishing reward systems. It's also being used in computer vision and natural language processing and predictive analysis. It's being used in a lot of things. But it is especially being used in fintech because it has a lot of applications. So I'm going to go through all of the possible applications that machine learning has in fintech, and I'm going to be covering mostly 7 big things. So the first application is going to be fraud detection and prevention. So fraud is going to be one of the biggest cost sources in all of the financial institutions, but how machine learning can improve this is that the algorithms are analyzing all of these large datasets to detect unusual patterns in transactions. And so these models are flagging suspicious activities such as large withdrawals or transactions from different locations. And all of these techniques, such as anomaly detection or behavioral analytics, will help identify fraud before it happens. So that's why banks are using machine learning-powered fraud detection systems to prevent credit card fraud or suspicious activities. The second big use of machine learning in the financial ecosystem is for credit scoring and risk assessment, because traditional credit scoring relies on historical data and credit bureaus. So what machine learning does, it expands this assessment by considering alternative data sources such as transaction history, social media activity, behavioral patterns, and all of these algorithms are going to be like decision trees and neural networks will predict a borrower's likelihood of default. So again, it's being very used by all of these lending companies that are analyzing the credit score with machine learning. The third thing that is very, very useful in finance, it's going to be the algorithmic trading, because machine learning models will analyze the market data, the news sentiment, the historical trends, all of this vast amounts of data to make trading decisions. And so they're going to detect patterns that human traders might miss or that they can't execute at optimal times. And so this will reinforce all of the learning and will enable the system to adjust all of these trading strategies dynamically. And this is something that robo-advisor, for example, are using to create this personalized investment portfolios. The fourth big use is going to be around personal banking and the customer insight. So this one is less of a specific thing, but basically, if you're analyzing all of the consumer behavior, the preferences, the transaction history of a specific user, this is going to allow a company to provide more personalized recommendations, either if that's for saving, for budgeting, for investment, because this is going to help analyzing this vast amount of data. And so there are many banks that are using it. In Canada, we have like EQ Bank or Neo Financial, and they're going to be using machine learning to suggest some saving strategies based on this user's spending patterns. Another use, it's the anti-money laundering compliance, or AML. So machine learning will automate all of this compliance checks to detect suspicious activities. Then they're going to do graph analytics to identify all of the hidden relationships between accounts. And so this is something that's very used globally by many other banks. So they are doing this AML modeling. Another big use, it's going to be around insurance or insurtech and the risk pricing, because when you're thinking of what premium to charge someone or how risky this person is when acquiring a specific insurance product, the machine learning will help evaluating this risk based on multiple variables, and it will help improve all of this pricing accuracy, because insurers are technically using telematics, which is real-time driven data, to adjust the insurance premiums dynamically. And so all of this helps creating a predictive analysis to detect how much someone should be paying for the insurance. And the last use that ML has in Fintech is going to be around chatbots and virtual assistants. And for sure, you've seen this one as a user, because all of the chatbots that banks usually have, most of them start with an ML-powered chatbot or machine learning-powered. So they're going to use natural language processing to handle all of the customer inquiries, and these bots will analyze all of the past interactions in order to improve their responses over time. And this may also include like voice assistants that are integrating in the fintech apps to include the voice-activated banking. So as you can see, it's being used in many things: fraud, AML, credit scores, algorithmic trading, personalized banking, insurance, and chatbots. The other thing that you should understand is the techniques that you have to use in order to get to those results, because there are going to be many techniques of using machine learning, and specifically the ones that are used in fintech are most of them going to be only 4.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile, with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, and natural language processing. So I'm going to explain how we use these 4 techniques in order to achieve all of the things that we are doing that I previously described. So the first type, supervised learning, is going to be the one that is being used for risk assessment and fraud detection, for example. And this one will use labeled data sets to predict the outcomes. So basically we're labeling something as fraud and we're labeling something as not fraud. And some common algorithms for this are going to be the logistic regression, which is used for credit scoring, the random forest, which is used for fraud detection, or neural networks that are going to be used for complex pattern recognition. And so how all of this would work is that you start training this database with the relationship between the input and the output, and you're going to help this machine identify the patterns in the data. And then, so similar to what I was saying, maybe you can label something as fraud, you can label something as not fraud, and then it will start predicting things, but this is going to be a supervised learning. Now, when we're comparing this to unsupervised learning, this is going to be a technique where algorithms are going to analyze and cluster unlabeled data. So this is going to mean that the data has no predefined categories or labels, and this will allow the model to discover all of the hidden patterns or relationships among this data. And this, all of it, it's going to happen without any human intervention or guidance. So it's essentially about finding structure and data that you don't know what you're looking for. And so that's why unsupervised learning is going to be mostly used for customer segmentation or anomaly detection, because it will form these patterns in unlabeled data that not even humans know what it means. There are some common algorithms. There's going to be k-means clustering, and this one is specially used for customer segmentation. And we also have another type that's called auto, and this one's going to be used for anomaly detection. Then, after we go on from supervised learning and unsupervised learning, the third type of learning would be reinforcement learning. And so this one is going to be one that's mostly used, for example, for algorithmic trading, and it's where algorithms learn by trial and error, and this way they're going to be optimizing their decision making. And this one, I was telling you, it's specially used in trading bots because they're going to adjust their strategies based on the market conditions. But here, also the agent learns to make decisions by interacting with the environment. So they're only receiving feedback in the form of like rewards or penalties. So this is good, this is bad. And the machine itself, it's adjusting its behavior to maximize the cumulative reward over time. So essentially, it learned through their mistakes, and this will optimize it, and it mimics a bit how humans are learning by experiencing consequences with their actions. So this is another type that is used, especially with trading. The last type that's being used is the natural language processing, also abbreviated as NLP. And this one is mostly used for chatbots and for doing sentiment analysis, because NLP is going to help fintech apps analyze news, customer reviews, social media trends, all of those things that are processing natural language. And natural language basically just means human language. So these machines are able to process and analyze text or speech data. And so this way they can know if someone feels a specific way around a product. So this is what's called sentiment analysis. By looking at all of the positive words, for example, you can see if someone is enjoying this product. By looking at the negative words or negative sentiments, you're going to know if this person isn't enjoying this. So if we're using sentiment analysis, text summaries, speech recognition, all of this is going to help this algorithm to learn patterns from all of this data that it's receiving through the language. And this is mostly what's being used in chatbots, because these machines have to learn how you humans type, or like the words that they're using, in order to know how to improve. So as you can see, there are lots of uses in fintech for machine learning, and all of them are leading to improved efficiency, better decision making, reducing fraud even. So all of these good things that are coming from machine learning are not only benefits that are arising from machine learning use in fintech. This is everywhere, because AI, it's transforming the way we work, and it's not the new AI that only appeared with Gen AI and ChatGPT. This is AI that has been used already for many years, and so it's already learning a lot. And it's something that will for sure be an important area in any type of fintech, because I would dare to say that almost all the fintechs are using this, just because they need to analyze big amounts of data, and this is the easiest way to analyze it and process it. So if you enjoyed learning about machine learning, share this episode with some of your friends so they can also know the basics of this concept. Also, write a comment or give me a review, because this helps me tremendously, and it also motivates me to keep sharing all of my MBA notes with you. And stay tuned, because in my next episode, I'm going to start wrapping up all of these concepts that I've been bringing around fintech in order to give advice to founders that want to create their own startups in the fintech space. See you next week.